do things more effectively, right? So in order to do that, we have to select appropriate tools. So finally, I'll talk about not only Zotero, we can also use Research Rabbit in order to improve your Zotero research library as well. And then again, you can focus on your project based on that, right? Well, so these are the goals of the today's workshop. Let's see. I hope we can continue all these things as we wish. Right. So you can see one of the image from the screen right now, right? So I would like to ask one question from you. Does your research look like this? Or maybe your research, or maybe your assignments, or if you are working on a different project in your organization, you see your research or your desk, is that looks like this, right? So this will happen if we use kind of manual system with us. Now, at this moment, we have lots of tool online, so we don't need to pay, so we can get advantage from there to organize ourselves. Even though we use kind of manual system, so we used to uh, get lots of like if you are working in the assignments and then working on assignments, we normally use a sticky notes to do some notes or maybe pointed out something related to that we are reading along with that. And also sometimes we use bookmarks as well, right? So while we are reading, so in order to remember something or to start reading from the next day, so we use the bookmarks, right? And also we use notebooks to get some notes, to have sort of short notes based on the reading, like that. And also we may using to-do list as well, right? So what's mean by to-do list? So we, from there we pointed out, okay, so this and this we have to do it. I have to do it in this way. I have to find this information in this particular topic, and so on. Not only that, we sometimes use a scratch pad as well. For example, if you want to use like mind mapping, if you are using mind mapping, if you are not using the digital tool, sometimes some are using scratch pad as well. So from there we pointed out our whatever the things in our mind, we put it into the paper, right? And the next one, so idea generations, when we are working on the project, there are lots of ideas coming through. So we need to have a sort of environment to record all these things as well. And not only that, we have to find new sources again and again to look at new information, to look at new research ideas, maybe research outputs, outcomes, right? However, while we are working in this project, in this process, right, using kind of manual systems like that, so at the end, whatever the method that we use, it's a kind of mess, as you can see from the screen, right? So that's why we should use kind of digital tools with literature organizing. Right, so Zotero, that will help you to keep your work well organized, right? Not only Zotero, as I informed you earlier, I'm going to talk about Research Rabbit as well. After I give lots of explanations about Zotero and then give hands-on training about Zotero, I will then move into the Research Rabbit. So the Research Rabbit is again help you to organize your literature, and then we don't need to miss any information, miss any related things related to your research, or maybe it will help you to visualize your papers. Not only that, this covers some of the author networks to move forward, or maybe contact authors to get more papers, and also share your collections with your research team, your colleagues, your supervisors, and so on, right? Okay, so I will now stop sharing this one. Instead of that, I will share the, okay, hold on. I will share the site instead of that. Can you see that one from your screen or not?
Yeah.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Dr. Nam.
Cool. Right. So now you can see the Zotero websites. So the first thing, if you want to work with the Zotero, there are a number of steps that we can follow, right? So I will start from the beginning. Even though you have already experience of using Zotero, it doesn't matter, but there should be beginners as well. So I will start from the beginning and then move to the advanced steps as well, right? So the first thing is about, you need to go to the Zotero websites. So you can access these websites. I can copy, and so it's like zotero.org, right? So I can copy that one. I will probably share with you all as well. Yeah, that's the same link. So you need to access that website, right? So that's the Zotero main page. So from there, you have to have your account first. The first thing you need to do is click on this login option. And there you can, they are asking about your username and email. So if you do not have an account right now, so the first thing is you should click on this register for free account and give all these related information, and then click on these register options there, right? So that's the first thing you have to do. And then if you have the account, then you can log into the system. So I will log into my account. And I'll give you the brief description about the sites, because time to time you need to log into your online account and then see what's going on, right? Okay, so this is the web environment. So if you have the online account with Zotero, then you will be able to see your desktop app from the online applications as well, online site as well. So this is my library. So that's what it's showing. So it's when we click on this web library, it shows your whole Zotero library, right? And I'm not going to talk about the Zotero options here, but I will move into the different options in this site and then move into the Zotero app, right? And there, another option is about Zotero groups, right? So if you are working in the research project, definitely we are working with a group. So that means we need to share our Zotero reference library with other members as well, right? So what you have to do, so if you are working in the project, so the group option is really important. So again, this is the web platform still, website. So in a group, under the group, so you can create a new group, right? So you have to create a new group. You need to choose a name and then create a group on behalf of your team. So that means after you creating a group for your research library, all the references that you are working with in that project, others as well. I hope someone's mic is on.
Mute your mic, please. Please. Gita, can you see who's on?
Yeah, I think it should be fine. Okay, done. Right. Okay, so we were talking about the groups, right? So since if you are working in the group, so you can create a group and then share your library with the group. So it's pretty easy. Everybody can add references and also share all the notes, comments and everything, tags and everything, right? And the other thing is about documentation. Even though you are a beginner or advanced user of the Zotero, sometimes you may find difficulties of doing something. So if you find some difficulties, even after at the end of this session also, if you find it some sort of things to figure out again, so please go to this documentation page. So I'm in the same site, right? I haven't gone into the different pages. So just go to these documentation options and there are quick links, and then there are other options available for you to learn more or go and find more information about Zotero, how to work with the Zotero and so on. And also there are forums options available. It discusses different aspects and also different issues. Sometimes we can learn from there as well, because we may also find the same issues sometimes, right? Okay, so this is the website. This is the web option. Now you have the have your account activated. So that means your Zotero app and other stuff going to work integrated, right? So it's those two options are integrated. That means whenever you work from the Zotero app or the online version, all the informations are there. Right, so now I will go to the main page again. The next step is about after you creating your account for yourself, then you need to download Zotero into your Zotero app into your computer. Either it is laptop or desktop or other versions, right? So when you click on this download option, you can see that Zotero 6 for Mac, or you can find other platforms as well for the Windows, Linux, and other operating systems. So Zotero is available for any operating systems. So select the particular operating system and then get the real version. Not only that, the second one is about you need to download your Zotero connector as well. So Zotero connector is it's connected with your web browser. In order to connect your Zotero library with your web browser, you definitely download the Zotero connector. So that's another other steps. Though all these steps are given in the website, so you can click on this button and then it will show the steps. And Zotero connector, again, you have to select the different options. Zotero connector for the Safari or for other browsers. When you click on that, you can see the connectors are available for Chrome, Google Chrome, Firefox, Edge, and other stuff, right? Select the proper one. If you have already downloaded the connector and everything, you can see that in my screen also, you can see some of the page mark. So that means my Zotero library is connected with my web browser as well. So that means my Zotero connector is working well, right? So you have to have a kind of marks like this. So it shows you save to Zotero, things like that, right? So that's where we can see whether those options are working properly or not, right? So now we can figure out. So after you download everything to your tool, your laptop or the desktop, then we can move to the what we call desktop app, right? So I will now move to desktop app and then show you how to work from there. Right, so okay, I will share that one as well. Right. So if you can see the Zotero mark in the desktop, so you can click on that, then it will open up this Zotero library. Can you see my Zotero library from your screen? I just want to make sure that I'm sharing the correct page. Can you see that Zotero
Yes,
library?
visible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we can see.
Awesome. Right. Okay, so this is Zotero library. So this is where we are working, right? This is where we are normally working in the Zotero library. So that's called Zotero app from the desktop version. So that's where you, after you download the Zotero from the website, you are ready to work. Right, so soon after you open the Zotero library or Zotero app from your computer, so you can see this similar screen, and then you can see the My Library option is there from the left-hand side, and there are a number of folders also available. So that's organized library from, it's My Organized Library, right? Whenever you open your first Zotero library, you won't be able to see other folder. So that's where you are starting organize your literature, right? So the first thing is about, so I will first explain you the screens and then get back to this stuff again, right? So under your, when you click on your My Library, so all the items that related in different folders can be seen from one screen. So not in the middle part, you can see that it's called content area, right? When we click on the My Library, so you can see the content area. when I click on my AD role or academic developer systematic literature review, so it shows the items that belongs to that folder. But whenever I click on my library, all the items will be displayed, right? Okay, and then when I click on one item from the content area, you can see from the right-hand side, it shows you the different bibliographic information, right? Bibliographic data. Right, so that's how it works. Similarly, and then simple introduction about the interface, right? So when you organize your research library, there are a number of things I need to share with you. First thing is about based on your searching or based on your research project, it's good to have a different kind of folders, right? So the different kind of folders, for example, so these are the projects that I'm working on. So I have different folders for that one, right? So academic development role, so we are doing a systematic literature review for that one. And also I'm part of the digital fluency project and also education portfolio project kind of things. So if I'm searching lots of information related to different projects, I will have a different folders. Like that, when you are working in your Zotero library, make sure that based on your different projects, come up with different folders as well. So that's number one regarding the organizing your research library, right? Okay, so we'll practice one example here. Then at the end of the session, you will see all the advanced options that you can work in that related folder. Okay, right. So for example, let's see, I'm working on for this workshop, right? So just assume that I'm working on digital literacy research, right? Okay. Yeah, digital literacy project. So what I have to do, I need to click on this folder option, new collection. I'm going to add the new collection to my library, and then I'll rename that one as a digital literacy research project. Okay, or maybe digital literacy. I know that is a research project. Okay, done. So now you can see digital literacy folder is open up, and in the content area, there's nothing because I haven't added anything yet to the library, right? So what I have to do now, based on my searches, based on my literature review search, I need to save all this information into my library, right? Working in there. So the other thing is about, in order to add different items into our library, there are different options available. So the first one is about manually adding items to the research library, right? For example, if I click on this option here, you can see that plus mark. When I click on that, so you can see different sources shows. So that means we can manually add all the bibliographic information data into different sources, right? And when you click on more, so you can see there could be artwork, audio recordings. So if you are using some of the interweaves with your research project, so you can add lots of bibliographic data to the interweave, or maybe maps, landscape software, and so on, right? So for example, if I click on this on book, so that means I'm assuming that I'm using a book, but it's not an e-book, and I use the manual book from the library, but I need to add that one into my Zotero library, right? So what I have to do, so I click on there and then click on the book option. So soon after I click on that, so you can see from the right-hand side, the options, I mean, the area has already shown. That's where we have to manually add all the details related to the book, right? It should be a book or journal, whatever, right? So if it is the title is, just assume that it's a digital literacy. So it's there. And author name is, maybe I will easily add, should be Pereira. And first name may be Alan? Yep, right? I'm just giving the false information just for the quick. Otherwise, I need to find all the information, right? Okay, so let's assume that, right. There's no series, volume, or maybe it's a second edition, right? So I think it's a second edition, right? And place maybe whatever. So we call, yeah, let's say Colombo. And publisher, we got again, right? So the date should be 2022, like that. So those are some of the most relevant information. And then I decided to add all this information manually, right? So when you click on that, so you can see from the left right-hand side, all the bibliographic data is recorded. So that's manual option. When we use the digital tools, it doesn't mean that, it doesn't require for us to do the manual, adding manual information to the library, right? It's like just wasting our time. Just keep this option just for the emergency purpose. For example, if you are not finding relevant information online, or maybe there are no ebooks and things like that, there may be an option for you to add your details manually, the resource details manually. For that option only, you can use this manually adding new items, right? So that's another one. The second option is about adding resources to the Zotero by searching or by using ISBN number, DOI number, and all the other unique numbers related to the resources, right? So then we will see how we could do so. I will just quickly move into the library, and then I'm going to the Victoria University Library, that's where I'm working right now. So I'll click on that, and I'm going to find about digital literacy, right? In this workshop, I'm not going to focus on information searching and things. So that's focus about the use of tools, right? Okay, then I'm going to click on search option. So you can see digital literacy is there, but I'm quickly use the filters. So I need to 2022 to 2023 one. And I can see different options available. And I can also use full text peer-reviewed journals as well. Right. So you can see that there will be one journal articles available about lifelong digital learning. Just assume that it may be helpful resources for my research. So I will go and click on that option. And when I go down, I can see that identify options, they are ISSN or whatever the numbers. DOI number is also there. I'm going to copy that option and then go to the Zotero library, right? Digital literacy folder. So I'm going to click on there, and then I'm going to use that DOI number, paste into that box, and click the enter button from your keyboard. Right? Okay. So now you can see that in my library, there are two items. So one I have added manually. The other one I have added by using DOI, Digital Object Identifier, right? So in that case, I do not want to add any details manually, so which is easier, and we are not wasting our time. Within very short period of time, we will be able to improve our Zotero library, adding lots of resources to the library as well. Right, so you can see that all the information filled automatically, and the abstract also given, which is really good. And publication details and all the details are there, right? Okay, so now I'm moving to the third option, that's called using Zotero Connector, right? Hope you can remember that. When you download your Zotero library, I informed that you have to download Zotero Connector as well. So that's where Zotero library and browser is connected together, right? So we will see how we could bring how we could use that Zotero connector and then adding items from Zotero Connect to the library, right? Okay, so again, I'm moving to the website and I will go to Google search, Google Scholar, and I will probably find digital literacy PDF documents. I'm going to find out about digital literacy PDF versions, okay? So let's see, right, I would like to go for this digital literacy and analysis of the contemporary paradigms. So it seems like it's really cool article for my research, right? So I selected from there and then I'm going to click on that, right? So you can see there's a good article. It's a kind of full paper. There should be lots of information related to my research. So then I'm going to click on these options from the browser, right? Can you see that? Very closer to your search bar. So you can see that the document is there. So when I click on that, it's asking about where I should save, right? So you can select the library from there. The selected library is okay. It's a digital literacy one, then it's fine. So it's going to save into my Zotero library automatically. So let's move into the library. Now you can see the source is available in my library as well, right? So we have added 3 um, items to the Zotero library by using 3 options. You can also do the same thing when you add items into your library, right? So the first way is about adding manually. The second one is about using BOI or ISSN or ISBN number. And the other one is about using Zotero connector, right? So it's pretty easy. Now you can see very quickly we can save those items into the library. Right. So what we have to do next, before I move into the Word document and then adding uh, references to your Word documents, I would like to talk more about organizing well your Zotero library, right?
මේක මට
Some of,
පෙන්නන්නකො හරි එපා හරි
again,
හරි
okay, okay, sorry. Yep, done. Right. Right. So I will show you how to organize well your Zotero library, right? So the first thing about using, there are different options available, right? So the first thing is about using kind of, or maybe what we called adding notes, right? So the adding notes also really important. How we are going to adding notes to our Zotero library and then why we should practice that one. It's really important to think about, right? So the first one is about adding notes to your Zotero library, right? For example, when I click on this digital literacy, and then you can see that next to the adding item by the identifier section, you can see that there is a option called new note, right? So you can click on that and it's asking 2 options, whether it is a new standalone note or add child note. At this stage, I'm talking about the new standalone note. So that will add to your whole library, right? One note for the whole library, right? So when I click on that, you can see on top, it's organized, right? So that's already open from your right-hand side. You can write any notes. But why I'm using that standalone note? Because we are using the library for the research purpose or assignment basis or whatever the purpose, we have to have sort of a structure. Let's assume that I'm focusing on the research or the project. So I need to have these notes as an example, as an exemplar, right? So I'm going to save that one and I'm using underscore and then I will add, I can make the note like, okay, I'm saying article, article template note, okay? So then you can see that the naming for the note, it's article template notes, but it's starting from the underscore because it's pretty easy for us to search, right? Okay. So under that, I'm trying to organize my notes, right? And I will show you how it will help you to get the notes immediately by reading your materials through the Zotero, right? Okay, so I'm going to organize my library, my notes, and then first I would like to have a summary. And next I would like to have think about some of the quotations while I'm reading, right? And then what are the observations through my readings? And next, some of the questions coming through while I'm reading some of the articles. Then I can build up some of the questions at the same time as well, right? Questions and words and ideas to, okay, sorry. Words and ideas to look up more. And next, maybe new citations. While I'm reading some of the articles, I'll be able to add new citations, right? So I can make this one as headings, right? And then I can give some of the spaces for each sections as well. I'll show you how it's really important because only one time you are allocating in order to develop this article template note, right? And then you will be able to use the same template again and again. Right. So if you want to do some of the colorings, for example, if you are kind of visualized person and if you like to have a creative Zotero library, so you can assign some of the colors as well. For example, summary, quotations, and you know that by looking at the colors, there will be different titles belongs to that. Okay. Right. So I'm not going to do rest of the stuff in order to save time. Right, so this is article template note. So how we are going to work with that? Now, I can come into the same template note and then you can right click on it and you can duplicate the item, right? So the article template notes is duplicated. Now I want to use that duplicate items into one of my options here, right? So when we think about the digital literacy, so I have the article template notes. The idea here is when I'm reading that digital literacy book, right? So I can make the notes in this template, right? So I will use the another duplicate items, and I will put that one into this one, article template notes. So that's under digital literacy. That's when I searched the library databases, I found this article. Okay. Now I'll show you how it works with getting notes, not only about adding references from the Zotero library, but also working with the literature review paper, how it will help you to organize or write your literature review paper very quickly, right? Or maybe the research paper very quickly, right? So this is the article templates notes there. So I'm going to full text again, and I'm going to open up that one, right? So now you can see when I click on this PDF version, so that's also open up from my Zotero library. And I can see that under the item notes, my article templates note is there, right? So when I'm reading these articles, what I have to do, okay, just assume that I'm reading these articles and then I'm getting summary at the same time as well. Okay, so I can see that this article is about, is about, I will take the notes very quickly saying that digital literacy paradigms. Okay. So like that, when you are reading the article at the same time, so the one I mean, the screen is divided now. So you can read the articles from one angle, and from the right-hand side, you can get the notes at the same times as well, right? So that's what we do while we are doing the literature review, right? So we can read the article, we can get the notes at the same time as well, right? So that's where these templates is really helpful. You are not going to write the title again and again in the template note. So the one time we can organize the template, and you can, if you want to do changes, you can go to the template and do the changes, and then make the duplications, and then add into the items by adding to the different items to get notes separately, right? And other thing is you can open up this note to edit in a separate window as well, right? So that's another cool thing, because when you are working on there, so you can add the notes. I'm just adding something, right, very quickly. So you can add the notes while you are reading things. You can make this page a little bit bigger and read, and then add notes at the same times as well, right? So that's another pretty cool thing. Okay, so there are a number of ways of doing it. So you will find it that if you use the notes option, it will really helpful for you to work with the Zotero, right? Okay, and then right, the other thing is about when you go to the digital library. So if you are not duplicating and then maybe drag and drop into your different items, you can also do it by click on this one, right click on it, and then you can add note from here as well, right? This it's empty notes, but then it will take time again for you to organize your notes. Rather than doing that one, what I practice normally, I will have a kind of article template notes on the top of my library, and then I will duplicate that items and then use into the different items as well. It's pretty quick, pretty easy, right? Okay, then the other things you need to make sure that, because we started the session saying that, okay, your library is connected with the, okay, desktop app is connected with the online version as well, right? So you need to make sure that when you are working in your desktop app, that should be sync with your online account as well, right? So while you are working here, just you can figure out that there will be a very what we called sync mark, sync with Zotero org, right? You can see right hand side top corner, there will be a green color mark. If it is not syncing, that icon looks like red color, right? So if it is syncing properly, so that's you can see that it's in a green color, right? So it's syncing, so there will be no problem. However, if you find it some sort of issues of syncing your library with the Zotero.org with your online version, what you have to do, you need to go into these Zotero options and then go to these settings, and then it will open up another a small window, and from the there will be a general sync export site blah blah blah, different options available. Under general, you can see that file handling options also there. You can come here and do different settings according to your purpose. I know that some of them are not really like to automatically attach associated PDF with the searches, but I prefer to do that because I normally get notes from there as well. I'll show you how to do that very quickly. And you can go to the sync option here, and then you can see how it's syncing with your library, right? So so you can see that username is my name is there. If it is not there, so you can link with your account, right? You need to make sure that one as well. And under the site, you can select whatever the reference style that you are using. For example, if I'm thinking I'm using APA7, I can choose that one. If you want to get additional styles, you can click on this area and then add additional references, reference styles as well, right? So that's, again, you need to make sure that you are knowing that all the other options as well. If something could happen, then you know that where you should go, right? Okay. So you know that how to work with the Zotero. So we got the notes and everything as well. And the next option I want to share with you about making annotation, doing annotations from while you are working with the PDF documents. And then later on, I'll show you to get references as well, and also the report. Okay, right. Just assume that I need to read this article. Okay, I moved there, and I'll move that option. Probably I'll go to this article. Okay, so you can see that article PDF version is there. So when I click on this item notes, I can add another item notes. We can add number of individual items notes as well. When I click on there, I can have a separate color. For example, it's like research implication. So it shows the gap, right? So what they are going to do, something like that. If I want to add those things directly into the note section in my Zotero library, so I can click on there and then I can add into the notes. So you can see that, different, here we go, right? So you can see I click or I select whatever the wordings, whatever the statements from my PDF document, and I directly annotate from there, right? I haven't done anything yet, but I just selected and then copied into my note section in the Zotero. So I can do some paraphrasing from this area in order to do my literature review, right? So while we are reading an article, at the same time, we can get the, we can copy that part into that statement into the notes, and then I can paraphrase at the same time. So all the citations and everything's there, I can easily use it, right? So that's another way of working with the Zotero library effectively, right? So, okay, I have showed you a number of things, then I can again move into the digital library. And next, I'll show you how you're going to add those things into your whatever the Word document, right? Okay. Cool. Right, I will use the Word document again. I will use the same window. Right. Just give me a few seconds. Okay, I will use the new document. Right. Can you see the new document? Hope you can see it. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, just assume that I'm doing some typing here saying that, okay, digital literacy is the ability of things like that. Okay, I'm not going to use that time. And then I want to add some references, in-text citations here. So what I can do, I can click on this Zotero option here, and I can click on add and edit citation. And it's asking about which kind of style that I'm going to use, APA, it's okay. And it's asking about finding references, right? So I will click on digital literacy. Probably I would like to use digital literacy, the contemporary paradigms. I'm going to get the references from there, right? And then enter. So you can see that's automatically add in-text citations into my Word documents. And then I can again write down my other statement saying that, okay, so that's where undergraduates should, okay, so undergraduates should have definitely should have digital literacy skills, maybe to perform well in their degree program, right? So I need to add another citation because I'm not saying like that because somebody has already informed that. according to their research outcome. So I want to add another in-text citation. So I can click on there, and it seems I can't remember from which article that I'm taking those references. Then I can click on Classic View, right? So I can go to the Classic View and I can see my digital literacy library over there. I can find the items and then click on OK. Or if not, sometimes I want to bring multiple sources to justify one statement. Right? Then I can click on this multiple source option. So I would like to bring these 3 items and this item as well for my reference. Then I can click on OK. So I can see 1, 2, 3, the 3 items there, right? So just assume that my whole literature review section is over. So like that, you can add different, maybe single reference or multiple source references you can add into the Word document. And then finally, what you have to do, all the used materials I need to show it in my references, right? Under the references section. So what you have to do, you can click on this add edit option, bibliography. Now you can see within few seconds, all the references added, and then I can see this one into the reference list, and all the list added into your document. So you can do some sort of editing, or not the editing. So you can design this one, or maybe you can not giving lots of spaces to this one. So you can arrange that one accordingly, doesn't matter. But at least your reference list is ready now, right? So that's how you are going to add the materials from your research library, your Zotero library. But this is really important. In order to write this part, it's pretty good to practice that note section and everything, right? And I will, okay, this time is really important, but I will take a little bit longer, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then try to complete this section, okay? And from the Zotero library, while you are working in these notes again, just to make sure that you are going to, you are going to, I will move this part on top, going to add tags as well. Tags, because all the fields, tags, all these things can be searchable in Zotero, right? So if you are working in the one paper, just make sure that adding more tags. Tags means kind of keywords into each paper, right? It's pretty easy for you to find it, whatever the relevant paper for you to carry out your literature review. So I will add for this one. This is about digital literacy paradigm, things like that, and add. And not only that, you can also relate it with other items as well. So that's again linking with different sources. So when you read one article, there's somewhere it discusses about the digital literacy paradigms as well. So you can relate that articles into these articles as well. Then whenever you write the notes, whenever you write your literature review, so you can combine all these 2 arguments, right? Okay, then I can relate it with, okay, so this one also related with that one, done. So like that, so you can give as much as possible all these tags related items as well, okay? And then the other thing is about when you go into this area, so you can see under the My Library, the next options open up, and it shows article note and the, article note and the digital paradigms and things like that. Those are the tags that I have added. And you can see when you click on the, on that tab, you can assign different colors as well. So I would like to assign some of the notes into different colors as well. Then I know that it is searchable, and also I can easily identify different notes according to my work, right? So that's kind of practices can also could do it from your side as well. It's pretty easy. Other than that, it's not really organized, and you are not using your Zotero library fully. If you are using that Zotero library only for your taking references from Zotero to Word document, right? Okay, so these are the things pretty much, and the final stage is about making reports, right? The why the reports are really important. For example, after we getting all the notes and everything, so sometimes it's a different practice here as well. For example, when we are doing a research project with number of members, number of team members, we are using the same library as well. Sometimes we need to report those things to our management level as well. In that sense, we can get those reports and then produce those reports to the management meeting saying that we are in this stage, we have reviewed such and such articles, why those are important and so on. So all these reports can be also generated through Zotero. For example, what you have to do, so you can select the items, and if you want to select multiple items, maybe you can go like this, and then right click on it, and you can see it says generate reports from items. When you click on that, just assume that if all the notes we have already uh, uh, taken, then all the notes can be seen from the reports as well, right? With the bibliographic data, that also shows our notes that we have taken along with that items, right? So you can see, so there are different items, and also if you have given the tags and attachments or related items, that's also visible. So you can see that all the notes available here, right? And also you can use this one to maybe produce another report by editing, doing some editing parts as well. And another cool thing I will show you, that could be the last one, working with the Zotero. I'll go to the Word document again, right? Just assume that. So, okay, I'll go to the new page, right? From here, I'm going to add notes to my Word documents directly, right? I'm going to add notes directly to my page. So you can click on this add note option, and it's asking from which source that you require notes. So that's really important while you are working on the literature review, right? You know that which articles that you have taken lots of notes, and then it will really important for you to write your literature review paper. So just take those notes as well. For example, I would like to take this note, and then you can see the notes that we have taken from the PDF version. So it's automatically related to, automatically linked with my Word document as well. So from there, so you can write down, start writing your literature review, right? And then you can paraphrase everything, and then you know that the citations and everything there. So after that one, you can actually click on these edit and bibliograph, sorry, all these things. So you can add those things finally into the reference list as well, right? So Santos and Gomez, so you can see that it's automatically there as well. So if not, you can click on this add and edit bibliography, then it will refresh the reference list again as well, right? So those are the all the options that we could work with the Zotero library. So what I want to emphasize is it is not only to taking references from Zotero library to the Word document, but there are a number of things that we could do with the Zotero as well. If you are practicing very well, if you want to mastering with that one, please use different notes, different systems, standalone notes, or the pre-organized notes that I have already shown you. These are really helpful, and also use such reports as well, right? Okay. Right. Okay. Now, okay, I will ask our organizers, from the organizer side, is it possible for me to take another 5 minutes, or is it okay to wind up? Because I haven't touched about the research rabbit one. I just want to highlight a few things in the research rabbit. Maybe it takes 5 to 10 minutes, but if you do not have time, I can wind up the session. It would be really helpful if someone can guide on that, what we should do.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, great. Right, so I will now move to Research Rabbit. Okay, I will minimize that one. Right, now you can see the site again. I'll go to Research Rabbit. Okay, here we go. Right, so you can search Research Rabbit from Google, and then it will come into this similar page. It will open up this similar page, and then you have to log in into the system again as well, right? When you click on the login option, and it will you can reconnect with your Gmail accounts, or maybe your Facebook account, whatever. Yeah, when you click on login, so that's directly going to my one. It doesn't matter, but you can log in with your Gmail accounts as well, right? So that's how you have to log into the Research Rabbit. So why I'm using Research Rabbit apart from the Zotero library is, my general practice is after we getting different sources, or after we adding different items into the Zotero library, I do want to search more about whatever the things happening right now. For example, what are the other options? What are the other researchers, those who are working in the similar areas? Because in order to search that one in the databases or Google Scholar or other site, it takes longer time, right? Okay. Soon after you open up your Research Rabbit, the screen looks like that. So you can see different options there. In the middle, you can see that empty right now, and there are other options available in right-hand side as well. Okay. What you have to do again, soon after you open up the Research Rabbit, just again click the new category. The organizing the information is really important, similar to the research library in Zotero, right? Just go to the new category. So I'm going to give the new category saying that this is again digital literacy. I'm continuing that one from the Research Rabbit as well. Yeah, digital literacy, sorry. Yeah, digital literacy research project. Done. Right? So I have added the category. So one category, so this is another research project that I'm working on. And this is another one I have added right now, right? So that's called this digital research project. So under one category, so we can develop more collections. So I'm going to develop a collection. So I will say for the first one, probably digital literacy in higher education. I can add that one. And I can add another collection. Probably I want to find out more details, more connections, more author connections related to digital literacy skills, right? And there may be another one about digital literacy frameworks. Done. So there are three collections I have added, but there's no articles yet. So what I have to do, first I'm going to click on, So I have developed the digital literacy in higher education and other two in my different things. So it could happen. So I can move that one into other collection. Digital literacy skills also under that project. Yeah. So all these three collections under digital literacy project. Okay. So I can click on, first one is about digital literacy in higher education. There's no papers yet. I can click on add papers, and I'm going to find out probably, okay, so I can discuss first one is about, I'm typing maybe the article name. If we know about more authors, we can find about by authors or keywords, titles, whatever, right? So I will probably use maybe kind of title, use of digital literacy, use of digital literacy in higher education. Right, and then search. So it will search some of the articles on behalf of us. What is it? Sorry. What's it called? Use of digital literacy in higher education. Sorry about that. Yeah, then search. Right. So you can see there are a number of papers appeared, the use of digital literacy in higher education. So if I want to add that one into my library, so I can add to collection and it's going to add it. And it shows again digital competency in digital literacy in higher education research, systematic review of concept use. That's really important according to higher education. Then I'm going to add that one into collection as well. So likewise, we can go through all these lists and select one of the key papers, not all of them. You can see the abstract at the same time. Just take a little bit time and then find out key papers. So just assume that I selected all these 3 papers as one of my key papers, and then I'm going to my library again. So you can see under the digital literacy in higher education section, 3 papers already added, right? And then from the right hand side, you can see explore papers. There are similar works, 756 similar works. So I'm going to find out what are the other similar works related to my topic that I selected papers. I can click on that and you can see the network is, or the visualizing papers, the connected papers. This shows the papers, how it's connected each other with authors and how they are going to work collaboratively with all these projects. And it shows the, it's visualized the all the papers, right, that related to one theme. Right, and then when I click on this one, you can see that the selected paper, you can again see that from the screen, it is already in my folder, right? It's if it is in the folder, it's asking remove from or add to other collection. You can add into the other collection or you can remove, or you don't need to remove, right? If I'm selecting, okay, I'm just going to find out about one of the papers somewhere here or maybe here to add some of the papers. Right. Yeah, so you can see taxonomy of literacies. I haven't found this article from the search, but from this network, I have found that it's really important, right? It could be important for my research as well. Then I was thinking, okay, I'm going to add that one into my digital literacy in higher education library here. Okay, Research Rabbit. So I'm going to add that one. So that's added, right? Likewise, we can find out and then we can go to the papers at the same time. We can see more networks and also we can see the networks through the timeline as well. If I'm looking for more papers published in 2021, I can go for these stuff. And if I want to find out more earlier papers, I can go into according to the timeline as well, right? And also, if you can click on based on the similar works from taxonomy of literacies, if you want to move forward with that network, so you can click on this similar work and then see what are the other papers coming through, right? So it's again shows us, gives us lots of opportunities to go through under one theme to explore more papers within a very short period of time, right? And that's one option. And again, if I'm coming here, so you can add different papers into different, under the different collection as well, and then see different connections. And other important thing is after you finalize your library, your collections from the Research Rabbit, if you are happy with that Research Rabbit collection, you can see, you can click on this sync to Zotero, right? Those two tools working together. So whatever the papers that you find from the Research Rabbit, so you can add into the sync to Zotero library as well. So you can give the destination collection in the Zotero. So you can click, you can write down digital literacy and then click OK to add into the research library, right? So that's another cool thing to work with the Research Rabbit, because they are not two different tools. So we can work with two tools together, right? So it will improve our work finally, right? So you know that how it works. What is the really the importance of using that Research Rabbit along with the Zotero library as well. And other thing is, we can bring the Zotero connection rather than adding papers from the Research Rabbit. Instead of that, we can bring Zotero collection to the Research Rabbit and then see the network, right? So what you have to do, you can click on this import Zotero collection. Now you can see it shows my all the Zotero library, right? And this is what we have created just now, digital literacy. So I'm going to click on this start sync option, and then it's asking about enter the new collection. So the new collection will be, it's coming from digital literacy from Zotero. That's for my information, right? Then I click on OK. So it's syncing, right? So now you can see all these matches, right? Choose these papers to sync. Yeah, done. All set. And what you can see, right? So you can see digital literacy from Zotero. So that's my another library open up, but I haven't added those papers manually. Instead of that, what I did, I connected with my Zotero library, and then I brought all the research papers that I searched from there to the Research Rabbit. Okay. Right. And then I can see the connection again, right? Likewise, you can work from those two tools. You can go forward and then backward again, and then come back to the Zotero library, sync with the Zotero library, get the references, add notes, and everything. So those two tools really nicely working together when you are working in a research project, doing assignments and everything. Right. So that's what I think I decided to share with you within a very short period of time. I hope I tried myself to cover everything. But if you have any questions, now feel free to go ahead with that one as well. Right. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Namali Suravira, for your very, informative and very, highly academic kind of presentation on this research tools. Very useful for our young budding researchers as well as for the, even for, those the researchers, those who have experience in research, but they don't know sometimes how to organize their collections. Information sources. So it's a very useful presentation for all of us. So and then you have connected the both those are well connected research tools, Zotero and then the Research Rabbit. So thank you so much for delivering such a highly academic valuable presentation, and hope we can open it for Q&A session for all. To if someone has questions, then this is the time for asking their question, raise their questions.
Good morning, madam. I hope I'm audible to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go
Yeah.
ahead.
It's a very, I'm glad, madam. It's very informative. Thank you for giving us this lecture. One simple question is that, madam, when you are taking a reference to the reference list, it is automatically comes down. In the case, there are some reference styles, but we have to follow for certain researchers. So in those cases, what I found is that those automatically pasted or automatically comes those reference citations might have certain errors. Can we edit manually, or how can we avoid this error? I hope you got my question.
Is that the problem with the Zotero library?
Well, madam, now what you have told was
yeah, is that the issue with the Zotero library or something else?
Yeah. Reference lib, when you are getting the reference list,
Mhm,
when you use the Zotero library,
mhm,
from Zotero library directly to the reference list.
mhm,
So there are some issues on particular certain references
mhm,
which is not followed exactly the what we want. Now, for example, we say
mhm.
Vancouver or
Yeah,
Harvard or
yeah,
whatever.
I got your point. Yeah. So you can check with different things. For example, sometimes that's your Zotero library need to be updated with the upgraded version as well. So you need to check with that one first, right? And normally, along with the available recent version with the Zotero, it gives most probably the correct type of references, right? So just check that one first. And the other one is if you find it according to different references style, there are certain errors going on. So just check whether it is the added reference item because of that added reference items or whatever the issues. Just figure out where those issues comes from. For example, if you want to do something, some editing, not in the Word document, but also you can find out, for example, let's see, it's some sort of issues along with the title or maybe some of the quotations marks or whatever, right? And just come into to the Zotero library and then see whatever the changes that you could do. So you do it from here, right? Sometimes from taking direct adding resources to the Zotero library directly, those things could happen. But Zotero trying their best to minimize those issues as well, right? So you can do some changes from manually from this environment. And if it is not, honestly, the most important thing is just follow up the documentation from the Zotero, or if there is a big issues coming up, just report to the Zotero as well. So there is the option for you to contact that zotero.org. So just inform them and then they will work on that and report back to you as well. And I don't find there will be lots of issues coming to the user side. In some point it could be, right? So those are the options if you find some sort of issues in your Zotero library coming up when you are developing your reference list to your Word document, right? Is it
Yeah,
helpful
madam,
or
thank you. Yeah,
what do you
it
think?
was very clear. It was very clear. One thing to add, madam, in the case
Yeah.
if you are doing manual now, for example, in this particular uh, interface also, you see we can add certain series, serial number, volume, or things like that manually. And
Mhm.
if it convert to the reference list, will there be any change or now this is automatically taken? This what you shown is here,
Yeah,
automatically
that's
taken.
yes, that's based on the reference style that we selected. For example, if I go to my Word document again, right? When I click on Zotero, and just assume that I'm going to use the document preferences. So I selected the APA 7th edition, right? So instead of that, I want to use IEEE, right? Then I can click on that and that Word documents has changed up to according to the IEEE version. So all these information will be displayed based on the reference style that we selected, right?
Yeah, madam. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Kayantha.
One thing, madam, can we get the recording of this presentation because I got disconnected in the meantime during the lecture. Is it possible to get the recording of this particular lecture? It is very important for us, madam.
I hope
It was
so. I think the research
Yeah,
division from the National
yeah, we
Library
can
will work on
share.
that. Yeah.
We will share it.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Good morning,
There are
madam. I am Mudita.
Yes, Mudita.
some
Madam, first of all, thank you very much for conducting this session. As earlier session, I was join each and every session you have conducted because it was very useful. Even though I have any other office matters or everything, I just skip all of them and join with your session because it
Mhm.
is very well. Thank you much for conducting today also. I have a small question. You explained about the online so both. And my question is, what is the best way to work with Zotero? And is there any synchronizing facility with online account and the desktop version? Because most of the time we are working with different devices. Our office machine and the laptops and the, we shift machine to machine. So what is the best way to work with the online version or the desktop version? And is there any facility to synchronize both accounts? Thank you.
That's a good question, Mudita. So if you are always working with your own devices, the most convenient way of working with the Zotero is working with your desktop app, right? But as you said correctly, if you want to move into different options, different spaces like workspace or using different tools or things like that, in that sense, use the online version. Wherever you work, it's going to sync. So I have already showed you from the Zotero, go to the settings and you can see the syncs option here. So it's sync with under your one username, right? But do not use different Zotero libraries. Please remember that one, right? Because some of them are using different Zotero libraries. Use one, if you are, even though if you are using different Zotero libraries, just make sure that which account that you want to work on, right? Before you work with the online version or the desktop version, just make sure that you are logged into your online account first and then work with your desktop version. But when you are moving to the different spaces and then we are working on online version, just make sure that you are logging to your particular account and then work. So whenever you come into your desktop version, then it's going to be sync automatically, right? It doesn't matter. So if you can see the sync option from the right-hand corner, whenever it's green color, so that means it's sync. However, after you work on the online version for a while, and after that, when you open up your desktop version later on, you will see this version, this icon, like red color. But within few minutes, it will again green because it takes a little bit time to sync with your online version and again with your desktop app, right? Does that make sense?
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Mudita. Right. Any other questions?
Yeah, if no more questions, Udita, we can conclude the session. Nimi?
Yes, seems to be no any questions. Now we have come to the end of this session. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our resource person today, Dr. Namali Suravira, on behalf of the National Library of Sri Lanka. Thank you, Dr. Namali, for your informative and very valuable presentation by sharing your expertise and experience with creating and managing the Zotero Library. And also, I would like to thank your kind contribution to our lecture series. As I think today our lecture is very advanced for the professionals of the library sector and the students and also the researchers. Also, I would like to thank to our chairman of the National Library of Sri Lanka, Professor Nanda Dharmaratna, and Director General of the National Library, Mr. W. Sunil, Director of National Library, Mrs. Padma Bandaranayake, for the guidance and support. And also my special thank goes to Research Officer, Mr. Udita Gunasekara. And also my special and sincere thank goes to all the participants. Thank you very much for your participation and your valuable comments. Once again, I thank you all for your contribution. We will meet with the next program in coming new year. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you. Happy New Year to all of you as well. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year
Thank you,
2022.
madam.
Yeah, madam.